Imagine this, you're at a fancy electronics store eyeing a brand new smartphone. You see three options. The first is $699, the second is $999, and the third is $1,049. Something strange happens. Even though you didn't plan to spend over $700, your eyes keep returning to the $999 option. Suddenly it feels reasonable. Somehow your brain is nudging you toward it and you don't even know why. What just happened here isn't magic. It's a psychological trick called the Decoy Effect, and it's one of the most subtle, powerful ways humans are influenced every single day without realizing it. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how it works, but you'll see how it silently affects every major decision in your life, from the products you buy to the people you trust, to even the relationships you choose to invest in. And more importantly, you'll learn how to use it for yourself. Let's rewind a little. Picture yourself at a coffee shop. Standing in front of the menu board, there are three sizes of coffee: small, medium, and large. The small is $2, the medium $3.50, and the large $4. On its own, the medium is a perfectly reasonable choice, but suddenly the large seems like such a bargain. Something inside your brain just told you, go big! Why? Because your brain doesn't assess options in isolation, it compares. And when it compares, it doesn't always act rationally. This is where the decoy effect enters the picture. The medium coffee is not meant to be chosen, it's a decoy. Its sole purpose is to make the large coffee appear more valuable. The decoy is a deliberately inferior option placed strategically, designed to shift perception. And here's the mind-blowing part. You don't even notice the manipulation consciously. Your brain is hardwired to evaluate comparatively, and marketers, politicians, and negotiators have been exploiting this hidden wiring for decades. The decoy effect was first studied in behavioral economics by the legendary Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman, who revealed that humans rarely make decisions purely rationally. Instead, we evaluate by relative comparison. When a decoy is present, it changes the perceived value of other options, pushing our decision in the direction someone else wants. Think about luxury brands. A store might offer three handbags, $200, $500, and $550. That $550 bag isn't meant to sell, it's a decoy. It exists only to make the $500 bag feel like a steal. Our brains subconsciously calculate, compared to that $550 bag, $500 seems reasonable, and boom, we make the choice they intended. Even in politics, the decoy effect works. Suppose candidate A is clearly popular, candidate B is slightly less so, and candidate C is almost identical to candidate B but slightly worse on some points. Many undecided voters, when presented with candidate C as a decoy, suddenly shift support to candidate B. It's subtle, but it works consistently. Now here's a question that might surprise you. Have you ever found yourself suddenly agreeing to pay more for something you initially thought was expensive simply because a worse option existed? Chances are this has happened dozens of times in your life without you realizing it. And the kicker, once you understand the decoy effect, you can reverse engineer it to influence decisions in your favor. So how can you use this? Let's break it down. Negotiation power. Suppose you're selling a service. Offer three packages, make one clearly inferior, one your real target, and one premium. The decoy package will make your ideal package feel like the best choice. Negotiators do this every day, and now you can too. Personal life decisions. Let's say you're buying a car or a laptop. Notice the decoy? Spot it, ignore it, and focus on what truly matters. Awareness gives you the power to opt out of manipulation, marketing, and influence. Want to make your proposals more persuasive? Introduce an option that looks tempting but is intentionally weak. People will naturally gravitate toward the choice you actually want them to take. Even in relationships, the decoy effect works. Subconsciously, humans evaluate potential partners comparatively. Social psychologists have found that exposure to an almost suitable option can make your chosen partner seem more attractive. That's right, our brains are using the same mechanisms in love that marketers use in shopping. Why are humans so vulnerable to decoys? It comes down to how our brains process value. When presented with choices, we don't calculate an objective score. Instead, we rely on relative judgments. If A is slightly better than B, we favor A. Introduce C, which is worse than B but similar, and suddenly B feels like the obvious, smart choice. Neurologically, this taps into our reward system. Making a good decision compared to a reference point releases dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. Our brains reward comparative wins, not absolute rational choices. That's why we instinctively gravitate toward the option that looks superior, even if all options are overpriced or irrelevant. Here's something fascinating. The decoy effect works even when the decoy is completely irrelevant. Studies show people will choose a target option even when the decoy is obviously worse in every way. This is proof that our brains don't always evaluate logically, they follow perception, not reality. Think about the implications. Every time you buy something online, swipe through a dating app, or pick a subscription plan, your brain is being guided by invisible decoys. And if you're not aware, you're probably making choices you would never consciously make. Spot decoys. Before making a choice, pause and ask, is this option actually valuable? Or is it just here to make another option look better? Use decoys to influence. In negotiations, presentations, or proposals, strategically place a weaker option to guide others toward the choice you want. Reframe decisions. Compare options based on your own criteria, not relative positioning, to avoid being manipulated. Experiment in everyday life. Try adding decoy options in personal projects, pricing, or even social situations, and observe how people respond. The decoy effect is everywhere. From coffee shops to car dealerships, from luxury brands to online dating, it quietly shapes billions of decisions every day. And here's the ultimate realization. Once you see the decoys, you can't unsee them. You gain a superpower, the ability to navigate a world full of invisible nudges. But here's the question that stays with you long after this video ends. If your brain is so easily manipulated by something as simple as a slightly worse option, what else in your life is silently guiding your decisions without your awareness? And perhaps even more importantly, how will you take control?